pull that roulette wheel or pull that wheel, whatever it is.
Was that the Bitcoin wheel?
Oh gosh, that's going up like crazy. Have you helped anyone purchase a property or in the process from Bitcoin or using some of their proceeds from Bitcoin?
I have two clients who basically are multimillionaires from Bitcoin. Like they bought in it when the coins were $1,000.
Oh, now it's like 35, right?
Yeah. And they bought in it. Like I remember one of them was like, oh, they're $500 a coin. And another guy's like, oh, I bought all mine at 1,000. But these are guys that put like 50 grand and 100 grand into it. And now look where they're at. And I gotta say, I'm embarrassed to say, Vinny, I wish I would have bought some of that back in the day when it was 500 and 1,000 a coin, because just think about it. If you would have dropped 10 grand at 1,000 a coin right now, then it's at 33,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing you can say with a lot of things. So, I mean, you can say it with Apple, you can say it with a lot of stuff. You can say it with Tesla right now.
Ooh.
But the one thing, I even have clients talking about it where they're like, oh man, I wish I would have bought a couple years ago because values have gone sky high. And yes, values have gone sky high because inventory has gone down. The one positive is over the last week, we have got a little more inventory back into the actual window of what we were getting in maybe November. We got 684. So not to the degree that we were getting in November, September timeframe when we were in the sevens, but we did get a 684. We'll see if that number jumps up a little bit because usually a week or so after, realtors start putting their properties in, backdating it. So maybe it might get into that low sevens, so positive. It also is the first week that we haven't cannibalized all our inventory, our new inventory, right? Because properties go under contract, escrow, generically 30 days, right? Sometimes 20 days. And we've been seeing more sold properties than new properties hitting the market. And last week was the first time that we had less properties selling, closing, than we did have active properties going on the market.
I think you're going to get our normal bounce right after like February 15th, though, once everyone files their taxes and people get their money. Usually we get that bounce after the 15th when people have more money or they have a better outlook to go, hey, I don't owe all this money in taxes, or hey, I owe a lot of money in taxes and I need some sort of write-off, and interest expense write-off and property tax write-offs are huge.
Yeah, I mean, usually, again, people always ask, when's the best time to sell? When's the best time to buy? Usually summertime, more properties on the market, yet more buyers in the market. Wintertime, more sellers. I mean, less sellers in the market, less buyers in the market. Usually, because of COVID and everything going on, that whole demand, no demand, supply, no supply has really changed. What we've seen is a lot of people for COVID, right, saying that, well, I don't want to put our property on the market, so it's brought down the inventory. Demand is still there because rates are really good, which we're going to get into with David. So we've seen people that have lost out on one offer and now trying to submit on another one, getting 20 offers on one property, 10 offers on one property, 7 offers. But for a lot of these properties, multiple offers. Now, when we go under 700,000, because again, that's generically where we kind of try to put it, under 700,000, that kind of change in one market to the next market. It's fairly consistent to what we were looking at as the full market as a whole. Still not at those September, October numbers. Yeah, we did get a little bit of bounce back of new inventory out there. David, we talked about rates a little bit. Why don't you just jump in and just take over rates?
Well, so, I mean, if you want to, I thought you were going to do the return this September. Anyways, and we're not going to return in September, people, because rates are better now. Rates are better now than they were in September. So for those of you who look at everything and going, the skies continue falling, it's not. Today we had an adjustment in the bond market and rates ticked up a little bit. There's a lot of uncertainty coming, especially in the next 9 days between now and the inauguration. I think you're going to have a lot of volatility going on. And if you're working with a lender right now, you need to be checking with him or her constantly, because there is a lot of violent movement going on interest rate wise. The other thing is, this year, it's supposed to stay at a constant. Our average is supposed to remain around 2.8 to 3%. Now, the 3% is higher than where we've been a majority of the year. And a lot of people, if you go to that new website, Google, and you look up historic interest rates, 3% is amazing. But right now, we're still below threes. We're still in the 2.6s, 2.7s, 2.8s, depending on the file. The FHA loans are down at 2.2%. VA, 2.2. These are all no-point loans. Yes, there's an APR. There's an APR on all of them, but they're not being charged points to get the lowest rates in history. And for those of you out there who think you're going to wait and the rates are going to dive even lower, I don't think that's going to happen, actually. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that's not going to happen. I think that as things stabilize, once the transition happens, I think you're going to see a tiny, tiny uptick in the rates to where it becomes the norm is typically between the 2.8 and the 3%.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I don't know, it was a couple years back when we were talking about, oh my gosh, rates are in the low threes. It's never been like this. If you look at the history of rates, I mean, they were in the 13s and the 10s and the 8s, and now we're in the threes. I mean, we're talking about the twos. That's, I think, for anyone looking to buy, you're focusing on the monthly payment. If you're, currently living in a one-bedroom apartment, in this current climate, it might be the time to look at buying a condo. Condos right now, there's value to be had. Now, not maybe as much value maybe a month or 2 months ago, but if you're living in a apartment right now, it might be a good time to look at condos, right? Because rates are really low and there's not as much demand in the attached market as is there in the detached market. So it gives you a little better of a little bit of strength when you're putting offers out there. So if you're thinking about buying, talk to your realtor, talk to your lender, and figure out what's possible. The worst thing they can do, is tell you, hey, you can't qualify today, or you know what, there's no properties are going to fit your needs. Yeah, but not having the information at your fingertips, that's the worst thing you can do.
And it's like you also, when you talk to your realtor and you talk to your lender, you need to take into account the tax benefits, because the tax benefits are going to make it to where if you purchase now versus what you pay for rent, you look at the average rent in San Diego, it's very expensive. After your tax benefits, you could get into your first time home right now, especially in the condo market, because it is better, like Vinnie is saying, and have pretty similar mortgage as opposed to what you're paying on rent, as you're making the other guy or gal landlord wealthy and yourself not.
Yeah.
So invest in yourself. There's no better investment than investing in yourself, and we're big on that, Vinny.
Yeah. So wherever you're watching this, please subscribe, share, comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if you're looking for a property in the San Diego area, feel free to reach out. We have a couple new properties coming to the market in the near future. If you bought, let's say, a couple years back and haven't looked at refinancing yet, take advantage of it while the rates are good and maybe refinance. Nothing crazy, 30-year fixed. I would stay away from adjustables, 5-year arms, things like that.
Okay.
30-year fixed. Talk to David. His information is right there and he can help you out. Thank you guys. We keep this under 10 minutes. We do this every Monday and Friday. Hopefully
what about home buyer seminars this weekend? What are we doing? We doing investors? We doing FHA? We doing?
Stay tuned. That's all I can say. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Don't change that channel.
Don't change that channel. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and then feel free. We have a prize, entry prize that you can put your name in. I think we have the information below here in the content section. If you're looking to get in there, it's not below. Comment and we'll get you that link for it, so you can win a $25 gift card. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Boom.